Welcome to Summary Cast. Big ideas in short time.
So what does it actually take to make a marriage unbreakable? Not just good, but bulletproof. Today, we're going to jump into the core ideas from the book Bulletproof Marriage, which is all about building a relationship that can withstand pretty much anything.
Right, let's just start with that title. Bulletproof Marriage, Shielding Your Marriage Against Divorce. You know, that's not just a catchy phrase, is it? It's a whole mission statement. The idea here is that this isn't about just hoping for the best. It's an active, deliberate strategy to build a fortress around your love.
So, what are these bullets we're supposed to be shielding ourselves from? Well, the book argues that modern marriages are under a constant barrage of attacks. And we're not just talking about the little day-to-day disagreements. We're talking about massive external forces that are actively working against the whole idea of a lifelong commitment.
Let's take a look at the battlefield, because some of the stats the book points to are, well, they're pretty staggering. It really paints a picture of a world where the pressure on a marriage has never been higher.
Okay, first up, $97 billion. That was the annual revenue of the pornography industry back in 2006. To put that in perspective, that was more than Google, Apple, and Microsoft combined at the time. The book identifies this as a major threat, a massive industry that basically profits from devaluing real intimacy. And you might think, oh, that's a problem for other people. But a survey cited in the book found that even within faith communities, it's a huge issue. 50% of men, that's 1 in 2, and 20% of women reported being addicted. It just shows how widespread this particular bullet is.
And then there's infidelity. The book points to this survey of young married women in Brazil where nearly half, 49.5%, admitted to being unfaithful. I mean, that's practically a coin toss. It shows that the very foundation of faithfulness is being seriously challenged.
Okay, so faced with all that, just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best isn't going to cut it, right? The book lays out some real defensive strategies. And the very first step, maybe surprisingly, is to look backwards and figure out what you and your partner are bringing into the marriage in the first place.
All right, so here's our first piece of armor. It's all about looking back before you can move forward. And yeah, this part requires some real honesty, maybe getting a little uncomfortable as you start to unpack the past. The book uses this really powerful metaphor for this idea. It calls it the backpack. Imagine that each of you walks into the marriage wearing a backpack stuffed with everything from your past, your upbringing, old wounds, insecurities, all your hidden expectations. We've all got one, and acting like it isn't there is, well, it's a huge mistake. And this really gets to the heart of it. We all love that romantic, movie-like idea, right? Your past doesn't matter, darling. It's just us now. But the book's reality check is that the past is always present. A bulletproof marriage isn't about pretending the baggage doesn't exist. It's about having the guts to sit down and unpack it together as a team. Okay, so once you've started unpacking the past, you need a system for the present. And this is where the book's advice gets really interesting, maybe even a little unconventional. It suggests you treat your marriage like a business. Welcome to Marriage Incorporated.
Now think about it for a second. In a successful business, you don't make critical decisions based purely on emotion. You have a process. You focus on action. So here's the CEO's guide to solving problems. First, declare a ceasefire. No more attacks. Then, find the real root cause. Keep asking why until you get past the surface level stuff. After that, you brainstorm solutions. No bad ideas allowed. And finally, and this is the game changer, you focus on what you're going to do, not just on how you feel. The question shifts to, okay, so what's our action plan here?
But look, systems and strategies can only take you so far. You can have the best business plan in the world, but if the very foundation is cracked, none of those tools are going to work. The book argues there's one single issue that sits at the heart of almost every marital conflict. And this is it. The ultimate source of failure in a marriage, according to the book, comes down to this one simple but profound concept: a hardened heart. It's not about a lack of love. It's not about being incompatible. It's about the actual condition of your heart.
So what does a hard, stone heart even look like in real life? Well, you probably recognize the symptoms. It's the person who can never apologize. The person who always sees themselves as the victim. They're completely blind to their own mistakes and can't see things from their partner's side. They say things like, hey, this is just who I am. Take it or leave it. It's a heart wrapped in pride and ego, and it makes true partnership impossible.
So if a hardened heart is the disease, what on earth is the cure? The book doesn't offer some quick fix or a 5-step plan for this one. Instead, it illustrates the answer with a story that is just absolutely incredible.
Okay, so in 1988, this man, a Polish railway worker named Jan Grybski, suffers a terrible head injury and falls into a coma. To make things worse, doctors find a brain tumor. They gave him absolutely no chance of waking up.
But his wife, Gertruda, she just refused to give up for 19 years. Let that sink in, 19 years. She cared for him. She turned his body every single hour of the day to stop him from getting bed sores. She talked to him every day, telling him about their family, about his grandchildren growing up. She just would not let him go.
And then, in 2007, the impossible happened. He woke up. After nearly 2 decades, Jan was conscious again. The doctors were stunned. They said the only reason he survived was because of his wife's relentless, unwavering, sacrificial care.
And that right there, Gertruda's actions, that is the living, breathing definition of the book's ultimate principle. Sacrificial love. It's not a feeling. It's not warm fuzzies. It's a choice. It's an action. It's doing what's best for the other person, no matter what it costs you, and especially when you feel like you're getting nothing back. You know, so many couples are sinking right now because they just lack guidance. If this summary gave you a new perspective, hit share and send it to your family group or to that couple you love. Let's spread some love intelligence and bulletproof more families against divorce.
So let's bring it all home. This is the core strategy. You've got the threats, the external attacks. The armor for that is just acknowledging they're real. You've got your past baggage. The armor is unpacking that backpack together. You've got daily conflicts. The armor is running your marriage ink with a focus on action. And at the very center of it all, you've got the hardened heart. And the only shield for that is cultivating sacrificial love.
The book leaves us with this final, really powerful question to think about. Because building a bulletproof marriage, it's not a one-and-done thing. It's a conscious choice, an active effort you have to make every single day. So looking at your own armor, what's the one piece you're going to work on strengthening today?
If today's instruction brought clarity and direction to your relationship, don't let that source dry up. Your journey of growth cannot stop here. To ensure you continue receiving this direction weekly, the only thing to do is subscribe to our channel. May the wisdom of the Word be the anchor of your home. Until our next meeting.